All right, welcome back, guys. Another episode of the JockTalk show. We got Matt, we got Brock. Brock, how are we doing tonight?
Great as
That's
always,
right. That's right.
another Packers W always helps.
Absolutely. So as we're recording this, it is 9 o'clock Central on Thursday. What is it? October 29th. So
Almost
it's
damn
a little
near
bit past my
November already.
bedtime. A little bit past my bedtime. We got some snow on the ground out here in Wisconsin. It was a balmy 45 today, so
Yeah,
uh,
it's
t-shirt
hurricaning
weather.
down here. I think it's a tropical storm like Zeta or something that's hitting here now, and it's definitely affecting the Panther Falcon game going on right now in Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brock, you talked about it. Packers coming off another win against the Houston Texans. Kind of all around game for the Packers. Defense started off hot. It tried to give it up at the end like they always do.
Give up that onside kick
Yep,
really made us.
PTSD flashbacks coming back with that. But, all in all, Packers are 5-1. Devontae Adams are back. I don't know if you noticed. He had an okay game last Sunday.
Oh, I mean, for missing, was it 2 weeks, 2 games?
Two games, 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, and he didn't miss a beat. Um, Again, coming off a bad loss against the Bucks, to bounce back like that with this kind of a statement win, I would say. Um, all around, it was a pretty good team effort. I saw a lot more effort from especially the linemen in the trenches.
Oh yeah.
That they were beating the people, the Texans off the line. They were beating the blocks, one-on-one blocks. Didn't have to blitz too often. I mean, they were winning, and they were always in the backfield, and the opposing offensive line wasn't 3 yards down the field, which is never a good sign. So to have that D line and linebackers really step up this week really helped. You've seen a big response from Preston Smith. I know
Yep, he had a
he's
great game.
we were criticizing him the last few weeks of just not making plays, not being there, not being where he needs to be, and for him to come back and have a game like that is really nice.
Yeah, so you start off by saying, the line was, winning all game. I thought you were gonna go to the offensive line, to be honest. Offensive line
I mean,
played
they did. I mean,
really, really well.
Billy
But
Turner, left tackle, really played.
absolutely.
And it probably had one of his best games of the year. And I
Yep.
mean, sometimes he doesn't look great on the right side and guard. I mean, he gets beat pretty easily, but on the left tackle at that, he played
Yep.
pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. So they were also missing, the best left tackle in the NFL. Bach was out. It looks like he's been limited in practice so far this week, so hopefully we'll have him back against the Vikings. But, Devontae Adams, we hit on a little bit. 13 catches, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. He just makes it look too easy. Quick releases off the line, crisp route running, great hands. He just does it all. And then
there was even a couple times that Aaron threw the ball kind of off, and he still made the play. Like his, I believe, second touchdown. If Aaron just throws it like over the top a little more, that's just an easy touchdown, not just kind of he had to kind of twist for it and run across the field and score. But a couple better balls. I mean, Tay's looking at 200 plus.
Yeah,
easy.
You mentioned, a couple of bad balls. There's the one play, I believe it was earlier in the game, just absolute dime from A-Rod over his shoulders, just dropped it in the basket. Great catch, great throw. It was good defense, but can't beat a good throw. But
good defense, but better throw.
Otherwise, the Storm and Mormon party boy Jamal Williams, also big games in Aaron Jones' absence. Aaron Jones hasn't been practicing this week yet again. But I don't know that it matters. Obviously Aaron Jones is, a better, more talented running back. But Jamal Williams is, taking his role and rolling with it. Excuse me. You mentioned on Twitter, you posted on the show's Twitter, good for him, but someone is going to give him more money than what the Packers are willing to spend on a backup running back, I think.
Yeah.
But it's going to be one of those when he signs somewhere else, good for Jamal kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's become over the last couple of years like a fan favorite. I mean, if we could keep him, I would love him here next year. I think I could speak for every Green Bay Packer fan. He just brings that energy that you love. Plays the game hard, 100% all the time. But yeah, he's probably not going to be back next year. But I'll cherish him while he's here, and
Absolutely.
as long as he's going to make these few games. If Aaron Jones is out again this week, if he has another big game, that just gives him more money and more power to him than that. With that,
yeah. So Packers 35-20 win. Moving on this week, divisional game, the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say we got 2 or 3 points to the game. It's going to be Devontae once again. Alan Lazard may play. Maybe this is an MVS game, but, I think it's just going to be Devontae all game. The Vikings have been shutting guys down left and right. Danielle Hunter's on IR for the season. Yannick Ngakoue traded.
So that surprised me.
Yeah.
That quickly they just let him go.
Yep.
And talks were that trade that they sent to Baltimore, they had packaged in there Thielen. So it's like, what are the Vikings doing right now? If Thielen would have left, then it's just a fire sale at that point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Vikings are doing. I mean, Dalvin's been banged up. I mean, he's questionable for this game, but what do they do? Like, what are their plans for the rest of the season? So, I mean, again, divisional game, but we can't overlook them with all the talks like, oh, their defense ain't good. It hasn't been very good at all. I mean, they still
30th in the league in scoring defense.
They still got a top couple safeties in the league back there.
They got good linebackers still.
They're still good, so you can't overlook them. Like, yes, their corners are.
Me and you can play corner for the Vikings.
damn near. But it's just we can't overlook them. It's a divisional game. It's always going to be tough. So we can't let them hang around. You can't dangle the carrot against these guys because Thielen's still all pro. Kirk Cousins can make plays. We can't let him run this time. That'd be great. But I think one of the keys to the game for the Packers is, like you said, Devontae. I say establish the run, then attack those young cornerbacks, because if you're establishing the run even with Jamal, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, if he's out there, you get those safeties coming up. I mean, Devontae is going to have a field day once again if they bring those safeties up.
Excuse me. Let me ask you this, Brock. Does it matter in terms of the grand scheme of the game, win or lose, or productivity in the running game as a whole? Will it matter if Aaron Jones is out or not?
I don't think so.
I agree.
I don't think so. I mean, what Aaron did the first time we played him is crazy, but Jamal is a very capable running back. I mean, Dillon, I don't think he played at all in that first matchup. So
maybe a rush or two.
Maybe, but I mean, now he's kind of getting acclimated with the offense. He might get 3, 4, 5, 6 carries. I mean, if you give him 5 carries against that very porous tackling defense, AJ Dillon could be off to the races, even if it's just one big 25-yard run. I mean, he's going to bruise you.
The one thing that the Vikings have going for them, not to change the subject, is Adam Thielen seems to be the only receiver who does anything against Jair Alexander. You can almost bank in a 5-catch, 85-yard touchdown kind of game for Adam Thielen. The other thing I want to hit on,
and there's sometimes Jair's right there and he just misses it.
Other thing, I mean, he's always in good coverage. It's seems like
he just can't seem to find the ball sometimes.
Kirk Cousins shows that he is a legitimate NFL quarterback with some of the throws he makes. But the other thing, Justin Jefferson, we've talked about him every week, almost brings us to tears, has turned into a stud these last few games.
I forget where I see it, but they put a side-by-side comparison of Vikings rookie receivers of him and Randy Moss, and he has Randy beat in every category. I was like, that's impressive from any rookie. And I mean, stacked up against Randy Moss, that's high praise. I mean, I hope he continues to do it because he was probably my favorite receiver coming out of the draft. Yep. Maybe if you want to put Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs in there, but just because they're, I like both those Bama wide receivers. They were shifty, but Justin Jefferson, I think, would have fit Green Bay Packers offense just beautifully. And you can see what he's doing in Minnesota. So, I mean, like we say,
if he could do that with Kirk Cousins, imagine what he could do with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So, the last thing I want to hit on before we move on, Money Mason. He's dealing with some stuff, some injuries. So he may miss his first game, I believe, in his entire Packers career.
Yep.
Maybe that means, maybe he plays and does kickoffs. Maybe they try to go for it more on fourth down. We've seen that across the NFL as a whole.
Maybe we don't have a fourth down.
Hey,
how about that?
Let's go. I'll drink to that. So moving on, Brock, we got our locks and our upsets of the week.
But first, hang on. First, what's your prediction for the score?
Oh,
you never told me. I have it in my
38. Not 6. 38-13.
Okay, we're pretty similar scores. I got 31-17. I mean, we think.
I just like the Packers a little bit more, I guess.
Well, maybe not, but All right, now moving on.
Locks and upset of the week. Last week was a down week for me, 1-2. Thanks to Todd Gurley for blowing it, scoring a touchdown. Somehow he blew it. And the Titans,
no trust in that defense. That's saying something. Like, your offense is like, don't score. Our defense is trash.
And I also had the Titans over the Steelers. They made it a game late, but it was all Steelers early on. Brock, you went 3-0 last week, as you mentioned. So kicking off,
big win by the Cardinals, to say the least.
That's right.
But Isaiah Simmons finally gets a little bit of playing time for the Cardinals and picks off Russ, and pretty much that ends the game. So, I mean, we liked him beginning of the season. I mean, Isaiah Simmons
finally getting some playing time. I don't know if he's a bad practicer. I mean, the Cardinals defense has been okay, pretty good. But you got to imagine they'd find a place in that defense it's just a weapon.
You want him at safety, play him at safety. You want him at linebacker. You want him at nickel corner, go for it. You want rushing, sure. He does it all. He has that size. He has the speed, strength. I mean,
yep.
His skill set is just very unique, and you got to find a flip. You got to put him on the field, and you just have to have him out there.
Yeah.
All right,
moving on. Locks. Make mine quick. Bills over Patriots. I think the Bills bounce back. They haven't looked good in a few weeks. The Patriots are imploding. Cam Newton looked awful. Trade rumors all abound. Julian Edelman's out. The receivers are trash. Bills over Patriots.
My first one, Chargers over Broncos. Broncos are depleted. Justin Herbert, Rookie of the Year, probably winner as of right now.
It's a good chase between him and Joe Burrow right now.
It is. I mean, Herbert didn't play the first 2 games, or 2 or 3 games, until somebody doctor stabbed Tyrod in the lung. Yeah. But I like Herbert. I like that offense. I like him and Keenan Allen. The dynamic is working. I mean, and everyone knows already the injuries that the Broncos have. Who knows who's coming out there next week? But Chargers over Broncos.
My number 2, Eagles over Cowboys. Ben DiNucci.
Goat.
That's I have nothing more to say. Ben
Well,
DiNucci.
my second pick, Saints over Bears. I think the Bears offense is horrendous.
Hot garbage.
Bears fans are calling for Mitch Trubisky to come back in. Like, should they be 5-2? No, no, not at all. But in the NFL, a win is a win is a win. But I think the Saints offense is high powered. Oh, maybe Michael Thomas plays. Who knows? He's back on the practice field. Yeah, he's back on the practice field. So who knows if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think the Saints handle business pretty handily there.
My upset, Brock. Why don't you go with your upset first?
Okay. My upset pick of the week. Ben DiNucci and the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles. Something about it. I think, I don't. It's a sleeper pick. That's why it's an upset. Ben DiNucci. I mean, they still have Zeke. They still have weapons on the outside. Does Mike McCarthy? We know Mike dumb down the play calling and just let Zeke run the ball 30 times a game, or Amari Cooper end arounds. Just get their CeeDee Lamb, get him in the backfield. Just run jet sweeps, PV sweeps. Just control the ball. I mean, the Eagles haven't shown they can really do much of a lot. I mean, but
the Cowboys have.
The Cowboys can score points, but that was with Dak.
Yeah.
But Ben DiNucci is the second coming of Brett Favre.
Oh, okay. James Madison product.
Hey, all right. You never know. There's not a lot of film on him, so I mean, it's an upset.
I think this is the most times Ben DiNucci's name has ever been mentioned in a 5-minute period.
Probably. But it's an upset for a reason.
Brock, you're going to be 2-1 at best next week. But I have
last week. You went 1-2. What's up?
Raiders over the Browns. No Odell. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, maybe Baker's better off." That's just dumb. Odell's a talent. Still no Nick Chubb. Raiders did not look good last week against the Buccaneers. I think Henry Ruggs has a chance to have a big game. Denzel Ward made a fucking sweet sliding underneath a blocker tackle.
Like
Never on a football field. I don't understand. I don't think people understand how difficult that is to do.
That was beautiful slide. Quarterbacks slide like idiots all the time, but that was under a block, and that just makes a perfect form tackle. Yep. Impressive.
But I think Henry Ruggs has a big game. I think Darren Waller has a big game. So Raiders over Browns.
Are you calling for a blowout? It kind of sounds like it. Oh,
no,
you said
I
big game for Waller.
I think it's going to be a
high scoring
touchdown plus win, 6+ point win for the Raiders. So moving on, we got the fantasy 6-pack. Brock, I'll give my 3. You can give your 3. Then we'll go from there. My number 1, Devontae Adams. Just leave it at that. Devontae Adams against the Vikings. And we'll move on to number 2. Tyler Boyd, I think, has a big game. He's just him and T. Higgins both have a connection with Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd's been lining up in the slot a lot, and the Titans give up a lot of slot yards to receivers. My number 3 is Miles Sanders. I think the Eagles. I think he gets multiple touchdowns. Eagles get a hefty lead. I don't think they look back. I could see them being up 28-3 and just pouring it on. Eagles win.
Not with
big.
Ben DiNucci back
there. Eagles win big. Miles Sanders big game. I could have also added on just the Eagles defense and special teams onto here. They'll be in the fantasy.
Ben DiNucci 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
No. But Cowboys are gonna win. They better win now. My 3 picks we usually go a little bit lower price guys, kind of splash guys, but this is a little bit tougher week.
When you gotta pound them, you gotta pound them.
Yeah, I mean, you got Derrick Henry, use him. Yeah, I mean he's got a good matchup this week. My number 2 Clyde Edwards-Helaire, another nice matchup against the Jets. But as we talked off show, I mean, maybe it's a Le'Veon game. The revenge game. I mean, who knows? We'll see. But I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think that the Chiefs are going to be up by 84 in the first quarter, and it'll be over. And then I'm going with my third pick, Tyler Lockett. Again, another PPR guy. He had a big game last week.
Huge.
Maybe I thought Devontae had a big game. Tyler Lockett had a huge game then. But I could see obviously not that same production because that is ridiculous to go back-to-back like that. But another solid 8 catches, 80 yards, touchdown.
Any specific reason why you chose Lockett over DK?
No. I like them both against they're playing the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Banged up 49ers defense. Lockett's more the PPR guy. DK's the home run hitter.
Yeah, for sure.
I like Lockett against that matchup. More dink and dunk. I mean, that defensive line is pretty good for the 49ers. So, and Seahawks offensive line isn't very good at all. So Russ might be running for his life, and those deep balls might not be as easy to throw on the run as these underneath ones to Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, that is for sure. So we say it every week, Brock. It is the segment that is sweeping America. It is time for the JockTalk Show Top 5 in honor of, just the Packers being 5-1. Food seems to taste better when your teams are winning.
Oh, easily. It tastes better.
Easily. It doesn't. Sometimes, when you cook for yourself, you don't necessarily want to eat it as much. Me, at least. Sometimes, but everything tastes better. You got a smile on your face.
Happy eating. It's happy eating.
Happy eating. So, in honor of our 5-1 Packers, this top 5 for this week is top 5 game day foods. I will kick it off. I am kind of cheating here a little bit. My top 5 is chips and dip. You can go chips and salsa. You can go chips and, French onion dip. You can do chips and queso, chips and bean dip. You can do anything except for chips and guac.
Ooh, you're not a guac fan, huh?
Not a guac guy.
I'm not a guac fan, but if it's good, obviously if you get the store-bought nonsense, that ain't good. But if you can make it real good, homemade, then you can have me. But my number 5, classic, hot wings. Got to be good. Some good hot wings. Even smoked hot wings. I know you like them. A little extra crispy hot wings. Ooh. Oh. Flats or drums? You're flats. Flats or drums?
You stole my question. I'm a flats guy.
See, I'm a drums guy. It just seems
like get that one kind of weird piece sometimes where it's kind of tendony up near the top of the drum.
No, I get that, but I don't mind. I don't mind that, but drums, I don't know. Maybe it's just the savagery of it. It's just one bite.
Gotcha.
But I'm not against flats, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna go drums.
My number 4 is chili. Not that bullshit out of a can. Homemade chili.
Chili. Almost made some today for dinner. Easy
to make. Just got to get a few ingredients. Brock, are you a bean or no bean guy?
I like bean.
Okay, got to be bean.
Got to be bean.
We for me personally,
you like a little spice.
Well, obviously a little bit of spice, but I also use at least 2, if not 3, maybe sometimes 4 if I'm feeling frisky. Different kind of beans. Black beans, pinto beans, white beans, kidney beans.
See, if I had to choose chickpeas.
Yeah, it's all good.
I like black beans and kidney beans. Those are the best. Yep. I feel like are the best. If I had to choose 2 beans to be in a chili, those are easily the top 2.
Just gotta sweat the onions. Just
the good
cooking show next week for you guys. Now, number 4 is chili though. Again, not that shit out of a can.
My number 4, a buffalo chicken dip. Got to get a good spice to it. A little queso, a little shredded chicken in there. Very easy to make. I mean, it's one of those things like chips and dip. I mean, You could do a smoked chicken. Like you could do a little bit
Fancy.
You could get it real fancy in there. No blue cheese. Not a blue cheese.
No, God no.
If you put blue,
fart.
Yeah, if you put blue cheese in
in anything,
it's true.
So I'll tell you a quick story. The first time I tried blue cheese, I was at one of those restaurants. It was a bacon blue cheese burger. You know how bad something has to be to ruin the taste of a bacon cheeseburger?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For me, working in the kitchen, I know how that shit smells. So that is disgusting.
Yeah. My number 3, near and dear to my heart. It's delicious.
Nutritious.
It's nutritious. Miller Lite, baby. If I'm feeling frisky, it'll be some Spotted Cow.
Spotted Cow from the old Mattapons?
Yeah, if I'm feeling frisky, but that's about it. I'm not a tap beer or a draft beer person or a craft beer person.
I was gonna say you like drafts.
I don't like craft, excuse me, or micro brews.
IPAs.
Frick it. Nah. Stick true to Wisconsin. Miller Lite, maybe Spotted Cow. Beer.
Kugel?
Nah.
You're not lying.
My number 3.
My number 3. Can't go wrong with some hamburgers or cheeseburgers. Hamburgers. But I mean, it's just easy. Just throw them on the grill. Little bacon, little cheese. Nothing too fancy. Just more like a slider. How about that? Just bite size. Just get them and go.
I'm glad you mentioned the grill part. I cannot do pan-fried hamburgers.
I do like them, but obviously.
Let me ask you this before I move on to my number 2. What is your topping preparations? Your preferred topping for a burger? Preferences, whatever.
Okay. I'm going to go lettuce.
Obviously.
Sometimes tomato. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Depends
on what type of burger it is, because I do like a good barbecue burger.
Well, this is your preferred burger, Brock.
See, okay, my preferred burger. I'm going to go lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions.
Raw?
Yeah. Either or. It don't really matter. Pepper jack cheese, bacon, jalapenos on there. And I do like, if I don't have the raw onions, I'm going to get thin sliced crispy onions, like the deep fried onions. And then there you go. Fuck, that's a hard word. And then a little drizzle of ranch right on top.
So I go the burger, American cheese, lettuce, jalapenos and or hot sauce, whatever's around. And then I go a combination of, instead some people do ketchup and mayo, I go barbecue sauce and mayo.
Okay, I can dig with that.
Anyways, my number 2. Enough about our burger preferences. Who gives a shit? Crudité. Some people might say, "What the hell is crudité?" It's a fancy word for vegetable platter, you animals. Get some carrot sticks, some bell peppers, some black and green olives. Some broccoli, some cauliflower, a little bit of ranch dip or French onion, all platter it up nice and fancy like. Got to keep it light after drinking about 14 of these Miller Lights on game day, depending on how the Packers are doing.
My number 2. I'm going meatballs. Swedish meatballs. Barbecue meatballs. Put them on a pretzel, apparently. Put them on pretzels?
No, you stick the pretzel instead of a Q-tip, or not Q-tip.
Q-tip.
Toothpick.
Fresh out of the year. Let's go.
Don't coat it there.
Toothpick with and the meatballs. I mean, it's great. You can even put it on a little bun, little sandwich.
Are you like a barbecue sauce and meatball or a marinara sauce kind of meatball?
I like barbecue more.
Touche.
I do like Swedish meatballs though. Those are some good ones.
That's true. My number 1.
Let's hear it. What's your number 1?
You ruined it earlier for the folks. Chicken wings, hot wings, but not fried or baked or pan fried. Smoked wings are my new thing. Yes, it takes way longer, but they get nice and tender. They get that smoky flavor. They get crispy, delicious. and well worth the wait if you know what you're doing on the grill, which yours truly does.
There you go. There you go. My number one. Again, I think it's a Wisconsin favorite. Definitely a Wisconsin favorite. Beer brats. Throw those sons of bitches on the grill. Get them good. Not too crispy. Just got a little crunch to them. And then the cheaper the beer, the better the brat. That's what I always say. You got to boil them in the beer first, and then you throw them on the grill, make them pop, get that nice. Milwaukee's Best is what I use. I don't know about you. I've always used Milwaukee's Best
For beer?
To boil them in. Yes.
Nah, Miller Lite.
Nah. The cheaper the beer, the better.
Nah.
Yeah.
The better tasting the beer, the better.
Nah.
Doesn't make any sense. You're not gonna boil some fucking brats in Red Dog.
Not Red Dog.
Or hams.
I think my grandparents used to do that as hams.
Yeah.
My grandpa always drank hams.
Yeah, you could buy like a 48 pack for $2 back in his day.
It's true. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Are you mad? Mad you can't get a 48 pack for $2?
You know what they say.
Anyways,
we're gonna finish it up, Brock. Mine and your favorite segment. I got the Miller Lite. You may have a Dr. Pepper or something laying around there. It looks like. I'll drink to that. It is our bold prediction segment. Whether you want to go games as a whole, Packers games, anything. I'll drink to that. Packers 3 turnovers forced.
Okay. I was like, where are we going with this one? Put me on the spot. I didn't really have one for this week.
That's how I go. That's how I roll. When you're on the spot, it gets even bolder.
Well, I already had the Cowboys winning, so that's pretty bold in itself.
How many yards is Devontae getting this week, Brock?
How many yards?
There we go. Go bold.
Is he gonna go back to back 180 plus? I'll go 165 plus.
Oh, come on. Brock said, what I think he's cutting out there, 200 plus yards for Devontae Adams. Let's go. I'll drink
now he's going to get 40 because you said it.
Hey, you know what happens. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening along. You can follow us on all of the social medias. On Twitter at JockTalk Show, at Facebook, facebook.com/JockTalk Show. Search us up on YouTube. Follow us on Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify. I don't know if we're on Apple yet, but if not, fuck them. Who needs them? You can search us up on the TikTok and Instagram as well. Like this video, share with your friends, grandparents love us, moms love us. Your boyfriend,
probably hates us.
If he's secure, he'll like us. If not, he'll hate us. So,
your name's Travis Cowles. You probably hate us right now too because
Kyle.
Because the Vikings suck.
Yeah, Vikings fucking suck. So, with that being said, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night, Brock. Until the Packers are 6-0, we'll talk to you next time. 6-0, 6-1.
God, idiot.
Idiot.
Go Pack, go.
As always.